told you that you could lose body fat, get lean, build muscle, and get toned with at-home workouts and with zero cardio, and while eating more food. If you don't believe me, well, this is my client Colleen, and she did exactly that. We got this transformation with no gym, eating more food than ever, and she's dropped 10 pounds of body fat while building lean muscle. So in this video, I'm gonna be walking you through exactly how we did it, how I designed the program, so you can apply this to your fitness journey too. Before my program, Colleen was doing something that so many women do, and this mistake will hold you back. She would skip breakfast, just have a coffee, maybe eat a salad for lunch, for dinner having a protein, carb, and a veggie, but she still wasn't seeing results. She was severely under eating, not training effectively, and didn't have a consistent routine. She had gained 7 to 10 pounds before starting with me. She hated how she looked in pictures, and she felt like she had let herself go. Are you making the same mistake right now too? You wake up in the morning, you don't have breakfast, you have a coffee or an energy drink. Then when the caffeine crashes, maybe you are snacking at work, but then the huge culprit is when you get home, because you've been starving all day, restricting your calories, you just binge on everything in sight. This is the pattern that so many people are stuck in, which could be fixed if we start eating breakfast, have a high protein breakfast in the morning, and then you have your high protein lunch that you bring with you to work, and you even bring 1 to 2 snacks that you also eat at work. So when you get home, you have a high protein dinner and you're not overly starving. You've been eating consistently throughout the day. This way you can avoid the binges. So the first thing I did when Colleen came into my program was start her on a reverse diet. I took her from eating 1,200 to 1,400 calories per day up to 2,500 calories per day. And she did this without gaining excess body fat. Why? Because your metabolism adapts to what you feed it. If you're chronically under eating, you will naturally burn less calories because you don't have a lot of energy coming in. You're not feeling like an Energizer bunny and you're not feeling strong when you're barely eating 1,200 calories per day. And then what also happens, which is why so many people gain body fat when they try to restrict themselves, is because they're restricting their calories so low, we just end up binging later on in the day or on the weekends, which actually increases the amount of calories you're consuming on a weekly basis, hence why the fat gain happens. So by doing a reverse diet with Colleen, I knew that this was gonna set her up for success. Now we're finally fueling her body properly. She has more energy to show up in her busy healthcare career, to show up for her workouts, to build muscle, and most importantly, stay more on track with her nutrition because this time we had more structure. A reverse diet is a very slow and steady process. I do have a full reverse dieting masterclass linked in the description for you down below. If you've never heard of this, make sure you go watch that after this video. It's completely free. Now, the next things I did for Colleen in our program were strategic cycles of reverse dieting and cutting. After we finished off the reverse diet, then we went into a cut, aka a calorie deficit. She lost some body fat, and then after that, we reverse diet again, and now we're in our second round of a cut. But the cool part is now Colleen is losing fat on almost 2,000 calories when she started my program, gaining weight on 1,200 calories. That's because she's been in my program for 3 years now. We don't rush the process. It also takes time to heal your metabolism and increase your maintenance calories and lose body fat and build muscle. And because Colleen has stayed patient and trust the process, that's how she's been able to transform her physique. Doing these cycles allowed her to lose body fat and build muscle without the constant yo-yoing. Because what so many women do is they will try to cut down their calories. Maybe they'll lose weight at first, but then they just gain it all right back because no one knows how to maintain. No one knows how to properly reverse diet out of the calorie deficit to maintain their progress. And one of the most powerful and impactful changes that we did with her nutrition that you should start implementing too is actually eating breakfast. As I mentioned before, skipping breakfast usually causes you to have a crash in the afternoon and then you just binge on everything in sight. When you start your day with a high protein breakfast, it gives you the fuel that you need to go through your workday. And you're also not starving, so you're less likely to binge or overindulge. The next thing we needed to fix was Colleen's training plan. I wanted Colleen to train for muscle, not to burn calories. Colleen's training plan needed to be customized to her because she has a very busy and demanding career in healthcare. She wanted to do at-home workouts, which is totally fine. I have so many clients who train at home, so I recommended Colleen to get an adjustable dumbbell set. This is what I recommend to all of my clients who are training at home. This way we have access to more weights and you're not gonna have to keep buying heavier and heavier sets of dumbbells. Her at-home dumbbell set also comes with an at-home barbell as well, and she has a bench. So honestly, that is enough to really make awesome progress as long as we are training effectively. So I designed Colleen a 4-day at-home workout plan with the equipment that she had available. But the most important thing, if you want to train to transform your body, is to not focus on calories burned, not focus on sweating, but instead focus on becoming strong. In my training app, all of my clients can track and log their workouts workouts, which is such an amazing habit to have because you need to be training with progressive overload if you want to build muscle. So if you're just trying to memorize in your head what you used in each workout, sis, it's not accurate, okay? You need to be actually logging it in an app. And the cool thing about our app is it will show our clients what weight they did last week. So Colleen can look and see, maybe she did 40 pounds last week, she wants to try 45 pounds this time. However, when we are limited with at-home equipment, obviously there's only so much weight that you can lift when you just have an adjustable set of dumbbells and an at-home barbell. So I also taught Colleen how to apply progressive overload in different ways, not just about always lifting heavier, because it's not just about heavy lifting, it's about lifting with proper form and tempo and control and having an intention behind each rep in your workouts. Colleen sends form videos weekly and she has absolutely improved on so many exercises. She knows how to control the weight. She knows how to train to look lean and toned. And it's because we've been working together the last 3 years and she's been implementing the feedback I've been giving her. No cardio, no fancy machines, just a structured training program to help her build muscle over time. Now let's take it back a few steps and talk about nutrition again. Because yes, we've done reverse diets and calorie deficits and all of those fancy things, but what all of my clients do, and this is how they actually transform, is we don't just focus on eating healthy. We focus on tracking macros, the protein, carbs, and fat that you consume. With tracking macros, this allows a much more flexible approach to your nutrition because you're not limited to a certain diet or a very strict meal plan. You can still eat the food that you enjoy, and that's how we can actually see progress and maintain our progress over time too. Because even if you eat healthy, that doesn't guarantee that you're gonna get lean and lose body fat and build muscle. You need to make sure that you're eating the right amount of protein to recover and build muscle. You need the right amount of carbs for energy in your workouts and throughout the day. And you need the right amount of healthy fats to support your hormones and your vitamin uptake. So the right balance of protein, carbs, and fat is what's helped my client Colleen transform her physique and also master her nutrition. And like I said, we brought her up to 2,500 calories, so she is not restricting whatsoever. But the catch is you're not going to stay on the same macros forever. In fact, Colleen has had countless macro adjustments the last 3 years we've been together because when we're going through a reverse diet, calorie deficit, maintenance periods, also looking at how her body is responding, as a coach, your job is to change the macros if we need to. Now, sometimes we don't need to if her body is responding how we want to, but if we are in different seasons, like a reverse diet, we're going to have a lot of adjustments. And that is something that a lot of women don't know, is they just try and do the same calories and the same macros for months and months and months without changing anything, which sometimes you don't need to change anything, especially if you're making progress. But having the right adjustments with the macros is also crucial. And so as a result, Colleen has lost the 10 pounds. She's completely changed her shape. She's leaner with more muscle and feels more confident than ever. And she's even thinking about stepping on stage in a bodybuilding show one day because she has the confidence in herself now to do those hard, scary things. And I love watching Colleen's journey, and I love seeing her post in our private community with our clients because she's always reflecting on how far she's come. And she is very proud of herself. She has worked really hard to get where she is today. And this is her transformation after being in our program for 3 years. She said that the picture on the left here was the day that she hit rock bottom and she decided, I need to do something about this. I need to change because I do not feel good in my body. And the best part about her transformation is just seeing how much she is glowing and just radiating happiness and confidence. She was the maid of honor in her best friend's wedding a few weeks ago, and she felt amazing in her dress. She was actually present for the event in the wedding because she didn't have to worry about sucking in or judging her body, or if people were looking at her, feeling insecure. She actually felt very confident and she loved how she looked on that special day. So if you want a transformation like Colleen, here's what you need to do. Number 1 is reverse diet to restore your metabolism if you have been under eating for a very long period of time. Not everyone should reverse diet right now, but everyone should reverse diet at some point. So like I mentioned, click the link in the description to watch my reverse dieting masterclass if you haven't already. Number 2 is to alternate between strategic cuts and maintenance and reverse diets. And do not rush the process. None of these will happen in 8 to 12 weeks. I was in a reverse diet for a year and a half, so that will give you a good timeline of how long you should be staying in these seasons. Number 3 is start eating breakfast to actually fuel your day. If you're someone who's skipping breakfast right now, I'm watching you. Number 4 is to focus on resistance training and getting stronger, not burning calories, not sweating, but get on a structured weight training program with progressive overload as well. And number 5, start tracking macros and hitting the right macronutrient goals for your body, and know that it is going to come with some adjustments depending on what season you are in, but don't change things too often or too quickly either. And this is what makes the results results in our client community just repeatable and measurable because we have specific systems in place that we apply to each client depending on where they're at in their goals and in their journey. And this isn't just a vague, work out and eat healthy approach, which is what a lot of women get stuck into because, maybe it's worked for you so far, but maybe you're at a place where you're at a plateau, so it's not going to keep working for you forever. You're going to require a bit more structure and intention if you really want to see results. So if you're listening to this and you're like, wow, these are very specific instructions, I didn't know there was so much that went into this, or this is very tedious. Guess what? That's because you're at the stage where doing the bare minimum isn't going to move the needle anymore. You've tried the low-calorie diets, you've tried the endless cardio, and you've tried piecing all the information together to do it on your own. Feedback from so many different videos online or quick fixes, and this creates too many different directions in your brain, which is why you just feel overwhelmed. Does that sound familiar? It's because fitness journeys behave in patterns, and I've seen all of this before. And the nice thing though is because they behave in patterns, they can be solved in patterns too. So what do you have to do? You have to specialize your approach. You need to have the right training program, the right nutrition strategy, and the right accountability for you, and that's exactly what we do. Nutrition, you've been under eating or cutting carbs. So what do? We build a sustainable macronutrient plan. Training, you've been overtraining with no results. So what do? We structure your workouts for progressive overload and recovery. Accountability, you've been on your own, so we plug you into coaching to get the support and the push and the guidance that you need so you can finally stay consistent. But this isn't like a magic trick where I just reprint the same exact pattern and solution for everyone. And so if you're stuck right now and you'd like to get unstuck, I want you to click the link in the description to the reverse dieting masterclass. I actually made this reverse dieting method that we use inside of the program for our clients, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it free. So that's exactly what we did. And if you'd like our help doing this, like we've done for hundreds of other women, on the next stage, you can book a call. Our team will get to know you more, your struggles, your goals, where you wanna go. And if it makes sense, we'll map out the exact game plan for you to get lean, build muscle, and finally feel confident in your body. So if that sounds interesting, grab the masterclass, book a call, and otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. But if you wanna see another case study of a program that I put together for another client, just click on this next video here.